1330 WBTM. And Betty, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Hutch. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and enjoy the article you wrote about Bill Anderson, and everybody knows Bill Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
For the Grand Ole Opry magazine. That thing was nice.
Thank you.
And when I found out Pickers was at your place, first of all, I assume they found out about your stuff and they called, weeks ahead of time and said, we're going to be there on a certain day?
Oh, Hutch, this really took months because Gary and I were watching it and on TV one night, and I just, was seeing all the things that they were, buying and looking at and things they were interested in. And believe me, after almost 50 years of marriage, we had accumulated quite a bit. So I just told Gary I was going to send an email to them and just see if they would be interested. I mean, what did we have to lose? So
how long did it take between the time you sent the email that said, we've got more garbage than Hutch's show?
Oh, boy.
How long between that and when they called you back and said, we love you, can we come for a visit?
Well, I sent the email on February the 8th, and believe it or not, they came July 13th. But it was from February till May. We did not hear from them until May. And we were told that they get like over 1,000 emails a day.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't either, probably more. But so we, felt fortunate that, of course, that they chose, one of ours. But in June, they sent 2 guys down from New York to sort of scout through the place, look over things, I guess, to see if it was worth their time. And they seemed pretty impressed and felt like, they could get the guys here. So, and then in June, the end of June, then they called and said they would be here in July. And sure enough, they kept their word.
Now, when they came, were they there an hour or so, all day, 2 days? How long were they there?
Oh, boy. They were here. They got here about 10:15 that morning. And they did not leave until 7 o'clock that night. It was an all-day thing, but a day we'll never forget.
We're talking with Betty here, who works at our front desk, a receptionist that most of you know from picking up prizes and things, about how the show Pickers came to their home. First of all, when they show up, how many people come for this show?
Well, would you believe there were 8?
Uh-huh.
There were actually 8 people that came.
Mm-hmm.
2 girls came in first. They sort of, took charge and came in and told us, how they were going to be driving in and filming and things. And then later, in just a few minutes, then the others came in. I mean, there were several vehicles sitting around here in big, a big moving van that they carry things, away in. And it was 2 girls, Mike and Danielle. Frank didn't come because he had other obligations at the time. A director and 3 cameramen. And
the ladies sort of sealed off the area because you've got sort of a road going up to your house. So they said nobody comes in, didn't they?
Well, it's a gate around our shop.
Uh-huh.
And the girls said this gate has got to be locked or people will be pulling in, driving in, and that interferes with the filming. And so they went up, and we locked the gate. But the funny part, Hutch, I think this is cute, people were stopping by, and they were passing notes through the gate of where they lived, what they had, and things like that. And that's not exactly how it works.
That's funny. It's almost like you had Elvis there, and they were all wanting to get autographs.
Serious. Lord, don't I wish. Okay.
Yes. So they were there, and they were there all day. And
all day long.
Now, these stars, because you never know what stars are going to be like.
Right.
Did you have any time to get to know them, or did they show up and just start filming?
Oh, boy, that was a treat here. Let me tell you what happened. They had told us previously, do not plan lunch. We'll take care of lunch, so I didn't. And I had fixed a little dessert, just in case, whatever, if we took a break. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, around lunchtime, the girl said, where's a Subway? We want to go get subs. So they did. Those 2 girls left, went and got subs for everybody. And so keep in mind, this was in July, mm-hmm. quite warm. And so we all actually came over to my house where the air conditioner was going pretty strong that day. So we all came over here and had lunch. And they were just like friends that you had known all your life. We sat around and talked. Everybody told, different stories about you know, what they had done, their families, where they lived. I mean, they were from all different areas, but I mean, we really got to know them, and they were so down to earth. I mean, you just think you're working with, or you're with, not really working with, but you're with a group of professionals, just so down to earth, like friends you've known all your life.
And from now on, when you watch the show, you'll feel like you know them.
You do.
Because
you really do, honest.
They're so friendly on the show. But I'll tell you something, usually people like that who reach that level and are really professional, they know that it is their way of getting along with people that got them there.
That's true.
When did the filming wind up?
Oh, boy. Well, really, up until, I mean, as you've watched the show,
yes.
So you see they're filming on their way out even, you know. But they probably filmed everything till around, I'd say about 6 o'clock, really, Hutch.
And what you'll notice is they got several hours of filming, and they're going to edit that all the way down to probably just several minutes.
Probably so.
It's amazing.
No doubt.
And just out of curiosity, before we wrap this up, what looked the most interesting to them? What did they react to the strongest and going, oh, wow, you have one of these?
You know, it's really odd because there was no one certain thing that they seem to focus on. They seem really impressed with the cars because, you know, Gary restores cars, and they seem really impressed with that. I know we have several pictures, and I know they filmed, and I do hope they don't cut this out because Danielle wanted to get in some of the cars and ride the cars. They rode a car. They rode one down the road here, and then, you know, another. There's a couple of them that they got in that they really liked.
Now, you were saying that people stood at the front gate trying to pass notes in by coming in.
Right.
By the time they were through, were the people gone or were they still there?
They were still riding by real slow, and they would stop and look in, you know, like that. And they were calling the shop even. They were calling the guys, my son and the guys at the shop.
That's so funny.
You know, telling them about that. But like I said, it takes much. You fill out paperwork, and it's more to it than meets the eye.
But, Betty, I appreciate you giving us sort of a backstage view of what it was like. And
oh, yeah.
Thank you,
That's
Betty.
It. Thank you, Hutch.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.